PXG claim to make some of the hottest irons in the game and also have the most extensive fitting process known to man. Well, today that's exactly where we are. We're going to go through a full iron fitting here at the PXG Super Hub Fitting Centre, and without any more messing around, let's get in there because I cannot wait to hit these new irons. So guys, here we are inside the Super Hub at the PXG home, The Drift. We're going to get fitted for a set of irons today. I'm really looking forward to this. May I introduce Brendan? Brendan, how are we?
I'm good, yourself?
Did I get that right?
You did.
I did get it right. So you've been showing me already some of the new product that's coming. It looks absolute to die for. If you're a bit of a golf nerd like I am, you're going to really enjoy this. Can we have a look in the drawer of dreams?
Of course.
Let's have a look in here. Right, so there's a couple of clubs here that I think look absolutely gorgeous, and what I like about it is there seems to be something for everyone. I mean, I'm not going to take your steam here. I want you to explain what they are, but they do look gorgeous.
Yeah, sure. So from an irons perspective, following on from Gen 5, we've actually removed the T model this year.
Yeah.
So we're sticking with P and XP. P's been slightly redesigned, so it's slightly smaller, so suits the eye a bit more like the Tour iron.
More like the T was, I suppose.
Correct, yeah. So it's kind of like a good blend between the P and the T, but remains at the playability of the P.
Yeah.
Few things that we're carrying on is our precision weighting, so we can really dial in a swing weight in an iron in a fitting session.
Yeah.
So we've just swing weighted your iron, so we've seen that I've got to kind of play around with the weight in the head to try and bring these up to what yours is, make them feel familiar.
And that's really interesting, because I was fitted not long ago for these irons anyway, so I imagine for you that's something which is really unique, because most people won't have as many fittings as I have.
Correct, it's unique, but it's so essential.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, perfect. So for me, one of the big things I want to get out of here, I want to see exactly what's going to happen with the perfect fit club, and then also we'll test maybe some extremes as well and see what happens there, because I know PXG pride themselves massively on the fitting capabilities, don't they? So
correct, yeah.
I'm going to stop interrupting you now and let you lead.
Sure, no problem at all.
So guys, we're going to kick things off here with the PXG 0311P iron, and you can see it does look absolutely gorgeous. We've actually put it into the settings that my current fitted irons are in. We're going to see how this goes. I'm going to clip a few. We've had a nice warm up. So initial thoughts on this, I do like that blade length, lovely quite long blade length, a little bit of offset. For me, I feel quite at home with that. Certainly feels quite heavy, but let's see how this fitting goes. It's going to be very weight orientated, like me at the moment probably, but lead better. Do you remember, Chris?
Yeah.
Plenty of mass?
Plenty of mass.
You've got plenty of mass to have plenty of speed there.
Absolutely,
James,
yeah. It's been a,
there we go,
it's
without
been a big
being
Christmas. Yeah. Certainly felt solid after a 4-hour drive, definitely. Look at that centred. Interestingly as well, so on my videos, guys, you will see that a lot of my 7 irons do carry 165-ish. That's a 165 carry, spinning at 5.5, so round about where you'd want it for an iron like this. A little bit more spin would be better, would it?
I'd like to see, yeah, a little bit more.
I feel like I'm leading the fit. I'm going to show up now and just hit some shots. Oh, that felt nice.
Sounds awesome, Jeff.
Yeah. Am I aiming? I feel like that's where I want to aim.
Do you want me to point track man there?
Yeah, you know that 175 thing?
Yeah.
I've absolutely ripped both of those.
Move, James.
The target's moving, yeah, it's a moving target. See, that's a higher flight than I would normally see as well. I think we have just hit that thing.
It's not launching too high.
No?
No, launch is good. Strike, great.
Yeah, touch heely, but not too bad. One thing I'd probably like to do, I'll not start doing it yet, is I like a versatile iron, so I like to be able to play it down, play it up. That's probably something we'll look at a little bit later on in the session, but not saying I'm an artist, Chris, but are you laughing at me?
I was not going to say what I was going to.
It feels really good, actually. It feels a lot softer than what I would have anticipated by looking at that head. Like for me, you look at that head and you don't always anticipate something that's going to have that kind of soft feel. Obviously, a lot of technology in there, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
the ball speed is phenomenal. I mean, if I look at that as an average, ball speed at 122.8 with a 7 iron.
Yeah.
Spins at 5.2, a hair on the low side. I'd like to get that up a little bit.
Yeah.
But your strike is awesome.
Yeah.
And that comes from, that's a combination of things. So 1 is that lie angle, 2 is that length, and 3 is just how you deliver.
It's already a kind of fitted spec in brackets, isn't it? So, yeah.
Correct, yeah.
If I had any feedback, and this is really important, guys, when you go for a fitting anywhere, feedback to you is vital, isn't it? So
Absolutely,
for me, they probably feel a touch heavy.
Okay.
I feel like I'm working hard with these, and if you were to relate that back to your round of golf, guys, as soon as you get to holes 15, 16, 17, if you're blowing a little bit, if you're carrying a bag, if you've not got a push-me, pull-me trolley, then it's going to be very, very difficult to keep swinging at that speed. So you want something a little bit more manageable.
So let's strip a bit of weight out.
Okay. Is that something you'd do anyway based on my feedback?
Correct.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Options here, aren't they?
These are just the most popular ones that I use.
Yeah.
I've got a drawer full of them.
So these are the weights, guys, that go in the back, as you can see. Lots of different weights on there, and then a little number in the back for you to get the right weight.
So I want to see how far away we are from your current set.
Yeah.
So we're now half a swing weight lighter than your gamers. Okay.
And in regards to a proportion or a percentage, is that quite a lot? Is that not a lot, not a big move, or?
It's a lot. It's very feel based. So you may feel a big difference when in reality there's not, or vice versa. You may not feel much of a difference when in reality there is. It's whatever feels right.
A little bit heely, that one. It does feel, the head feels immediately lighter. I know sometimes you might do this kind of blind in a fitting, might you, so people maybe don't know, but...
Yeah. Strike. Does it feel light to the point where you can't feel where it is?
It does actually, yeah. I've just missed one left and one right, whereas the other ones I felt like I was
like no awareness of kind of what that club's doing.
Yeah, like that one, although it was a good strike and it's gone quite a lot further, it was just a pull, wasn't it?
Two very different shots, isn't it?
6 yards further, but it's not going to be near the green or on the green. Yeah, almost struggling to release it consistently.
No, I agree. So before it was very repeatable, it was very, everything was kind of in and around the same place.
Well,
now you're jumping around.
Yeah.
So like that shot there, you know, if you're only looking at the carry and the ball speed, that's phenomenal. But for me as a fitter, the spin's just a little bit dangerous.
Absolutely, like guys, if you're playing with your friends on a launch monitor, you're testing people's irons out. If you don't know what you're looking for there, you're thinking, oh my God, that's carried 181 yards and it's going miles, but it's spinning sub 4. That's like some people's driver numbers.
Correct,
so, and that's all just down to the, obviously I've fatted it a little bit, but that's down to the difference in weight in the head and the feel base, isn't it?
So let's jump it back up again.
Yeah. How much difference is shaft having with this? Because obviously we've got a similar shaft profile to what I've already got.
Correct.
Is there anything you might look at there and go, you know what, we'd tweak that? Or?
Yeah, I mean, maybe look at, like we're talking about your spin, maybe getting your spin up a little bit. So maybe something with a, I appreciate you play X, but maybe something with a slightly softer tip.
Yeah. No, that's not what I wanted to hear, Chris, is it?
It is.
But overall, I mean, if we discount that one where we're just kind of, I've moved swing weight by half a point there.
Yeah.
And look at the difference it made if I overlay them.
Yeah.
So yellow was where you were, blue is what you just hit then. So you really lost all control.
Front to back dispersion disappeared, hasn't it?
So that's one thing that I hate, anything that regulates front to back dispersion.
Yeah.
Because the last thing you want is, you know, you're a good player, you know how far you hit your irons. I don't want you having, say, 170 into a pin and then flushing a 7 iron and going 10 through the back.
Yeah.
Spin drops low. It's like that flyer lie, isn't it? That
Yeah,
just
it
keeps
is,
going.
yeah.
So I don't like anything that regulates distance.
Sometimes you might find that with a hollow bodied iron as well. Whenever I test like a new hollow bodied iron, be it have speed foam in it or whatever other technology in it, sometimes you do find that one shot out of 5 that just keeps going and going and going and going and
Hot
going.
off the face.
Yeah, and then you kind of struggle to commit to your next shot, so it kind of stays in your head just a little bit.
Okay. A little bit lighter in weight in terms of shaft. Now again, I'm going to need to re-swing weight this.
Yep.
Because we've changed weight in the shaft.
Okay.
So now we're actually on the heavier side.
Ooh.
Because the shaft's lighter, the head's heavier.
Yeah. Interesting how you can almost find a really nice balance between shaft weight and head weight as well. It doesn't just have to be like some D4s will be different to other D4s, will they, I imagine? Yeah.
So you could have
you
could have a D4 where a lot of the weight is in the handle.
Yeah.
Which means that head is super heavy. Okay. Same as yours.
Brilliant.
So I've changed the shaft up slightly, James. So we've gone lighter and we're in Diamana, Dynamic Gold, sorry, 120 X100s.
Shaft I do feel at home. I've tested quite a few clubs in this. So obviously for me, I hit probably more golf shots than the average person because I test clubs for a living as well. So I almost know what to try and do in my game when I see a shaft weight or something like that. But when you come for a fit-in, it's just very important just to play your own game and just make your kind of best swing you can. That felt nice.
That's a lovely shot. Great strike.
Yeah, that felt lovely. Yeah. See, that felt good, but it felt toey. So I've got the feedback,
Yeah,
but it also feels like it's going to perform okay.
that's exactly that as well. It was good, but it was a hair in the toe. But just going back to what I said about front to back dispersion, you've got two different shots there. You've got one right out the middle of the bat,
Yeah.
and you've got one slightly in the toe, and you've dropped off 2 yards
Yeah.
in terms of carry. That to me is so
That's
important.
playable, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what you want to be
You know
able
what to expect from what's in your hand.
bottomy, but again,
Okay.
calling these shots out, aren't I?
Again, like I don't mind that for a
Yeah.
miss hit at all.
Because that felt terrible. Like it felt like it was just a bad golf swing. There
Mm.
was no compression in that. Okay, good swing.
Spin maintain, which is great. Is there anything you'd change about this at the moment?
I don't know. I don't feel like I'm striking it as well as the first one, but whether that's down to pilot error or the club, I think I'm probably clutching if I'm saying it's the club.
Okay.
I think I've just made a couple of bad swings.
Okay.
Like that's as good as anything I'm going to hit. So I've just concentrated and made a better swing.
Okay. Big.
Yeah,
Strong. I wouldn't mind trying a different shaft actually, James, if you don't mind.
not a problem. Another one, Towie, but another one that I think is going to perform well.
It's that spin for me though.
Yeah,
That's what I'm looking for
more
now.
spin.
How does it feel, again, like just going back to what I keep asking, from a head weight perspective?
Feels
Now-
good. Probably feels on the lighter side.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
So we'll bump it up.
yeah,
It's one of those, like, you know, I can talk about swing weight all day, but you're the player, you're the one that's hitting
Yeah.
this. It's got to feel right, isn't it? That was a great shot.
yeah. It felt nice, that one.
Nice. Is that your shape?
Yeah, I mean, there's wind off left today, but
Yeah.
yeah, I will just try and
Just very neutral, isn't it?
yeah, just feather it a bit if I can. Yeah, they're what we're kind of looking for, aren't they?
Yeah. Can I put a bit more weight in there?
Yeah.
Thank you. I'd put an extra 1.5 grams in this.
In the head,
Correct.
feels like I'm going to bench press this. Feels heavy.
Through the ball, feel good?
Feels good through the ball. It feels like I'm having to work hard on it.
Okay. That's 1.5 grams difference.
Yeah,
Shows you like how such
Yeah.
small changes make such a big difference.
because that was fairly centred as well.
That was a good strike.
I feel like with this one, if I really got going at it, you know, and went like tried to hit it hard, I could hit it a long way.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if it's something that I'd want to just stand on a par 3 and just have a nice. First one you've hit left.
Shaft feel okay?
Yeah, shaft feels nice. It's not a shaft I've tried actually as well.
Elevate Tour.
Yeah,
These are really good.
interesting. I thought that would have gone a lot further, and it's not, so I'm quite happy with that.
Yeah, I mean that just I keep going back to it all the time, but anything that regulates distance for me is just a no.
Yeah,
Yeah, I really like that.
yeah.
Everything's just going the same.
And you know
distance.
what? Can I hit another one? I didn't think
Yeah.
I would. I thought this was like a test, but actually, it's not. It's a. Right.
Still feel like it's a little bit too heavy.
Probably, again, you know, when I spoke about getting to the twilight of the round, not sure if I'd just be trying to force it a bit, you know, maybe in the long irons especially.
Yeah. That's a nice golf shot.
Yeah.
So it's a fine line because 12 grams of weight was too light.
Yeah.
14 grams of weight is just a hair too heavy.
Yeah.
Big difference
Yeah.
in terms of how it feels for you. So let's meet in the middle. But I really like that.
Yeah, I mean, looking at that shot there as well, struck out the middle, 174 carry. And again, those kind of front to back dispersions, they're all right, aren't they?
Yeah. You're not missing anything long, are you?
No.
So it's more playable. So let's meet in the middle.
Right.
That's nice.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one. More in line as well, that.
Nice, James.
You know, it's funny as well because the shots that I'm enjoying are the ones that don't quite go as far. And I think for me, I'm quite at home with that. I think anything that's going quite a way further, like that one, for example, that's on the borderline 172, whereas when you start getting up to 180,
Yeah.
I'd be worried about that lower end of the bag as well.
Okay, big gaps down the bottom.
Yeah.
Potentially a bit of loss of control as well.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
quite
So I mean, with your 7-iron, like you said you called it, you're at about this number
yeah,
on the golf course, aren't you?
yeah,
So now on average, you're not far off that number, but you've gained more ball speed. That swing weight now, if we swing weight that in comparison to your irons,
Yeah.
so D4.4 in this one. This will be exactly the same. D4.7.
okay.
So
So, it's-
D5.
yeah, tiny
Very,
bit
very.
lighter,
So it's almost half a swing point difference.
yeah.
But it's just giving you an awareness of where that head is without making it too heavy. But
Yeah.
also, we don't want it too light where all the weight's in the hand or you're losing control.
Because obviously the shaft length's going to have a tiny bit to play, isn't it? As well, if
Correct.
we've got 1/4 inch in the shaft, that's going to play around with shaft weight, but also with consistency of release.
Correct.
Right.
Good stuff.